Fondren, coming to you from the Sydney Harbour in the land down under, Australia. My brief working holiday here in Sydney is just the latest on my ever-growing list of international travel adventures. Every time I travel to a new country or region, I try to get to know not just the sights and attractions, but also its character, what makes it unique. And I've decided the best way to really get a feel for a country and its character is through getting to know its wine. When food and wine are mixed in the right combinations, it creates synergy, a third, altogether different and often better flavor. Well, the same thing happens when you mix a culture with its wine. Both become infinitely more interesting. A country's wine is a window to its passion and the pulse of its people. It's something everyone can be excited about and proud of. And considering that there are only 6 countries in the world that don't produce some kind of wine, that's a lot of very proud and very interesting people. Right now, I'm enjoying the world-famous Shiraz here in Australia. But when I look back, I found that some of my most memorable experiences abroad tend to circle in some way around wine. I've made friends over a bottle in Kenya, and I've washed down wildebeest with a glass of native Pinot in South Africa. I've had Burgundy in Burgundy, and I've lived in Florence, where the Chianti is local and the locals are more than friendly. Not to mention, I'm fortunate enough to live only a few hours away from the fertile valleys of Santa Barbara, where I've spent countless weekends wandering from vineyard to vineyard. I've also recently spent some time in England, a country with a surprisingly healthy wine culture, despite its rather small wine production. In fact, England is the biggest importer of Australian wine, much of which comes from the nearby Hunter Valley. Coincidentally, I'm catching a train to tour the Hunter Valley in just a few minutes, where I've heard the wine tasting there rival Central California's. We'll see about that. Encyclopedia Wines could use someone like me as a correspondent. When I really love something, I have to learn everything there is to know about it, a characteristic that is vital to the success of any journalist. With an outlet like Encyclopedia Wines, I'd have a professional excuse to indulge full-time in what has previously been just a hobby. I have to admit, it has been a dream of mine to work with and around wine for quite some time now. I've always wanted to get into the industry somehow, but until now, I haven't been able to find a way to pair wine with my more academic passions of history, politics, and writing. As a correspondent for Encyclopedia Wines, I feel like I could really utilize my educational background while taking my wine interest to the next level, to really get to know wine, as you guys say. An opportunity like this has the potential to shape and influence the rest of my life, and I can assure you, nobody wants this more than I do. Well, I'm off to spend the weekend exploring a brand new wine country, so as they say down here in Sydney, good day mate, and cheers!